Lobby Stars came from behind to win the tie with their winning goal coming on the 7th minute in extra time. In the first match of the day, Aqua United made a winning start to the Niger Super 8 tournament, beating Yobe Desert Stars 2-1 in a Group B game at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Onikan, Lagos.
Now, interesting story. A total of 40 forgotten Nigerian athletes are to be inducted at the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, the NIIA, Lagos, by Chief Executive Officer of Airpace, Chief Allen Onyema, on the 28th of July. Now, Chief Onyema, in a media parley yesterday, lamented the precarious living conditions of Nigerian athletes after serving the nation, stressing it was the reason he has decided to honor the Nigerian athletes to the botched Montreal Olympics, Canada, and all-conquering Green Eagles that won Nigeria's first AfroCan trophy in 1980. In his words, the 1978 Nigerian team to the Montreal Olympics had some of the best athletes in the history of the country, some of them in top form, but sadly, the federal government withdrew the team on the eve of the start of the Olympics in solidarity with African nations against apartheid. Chief Onyema added that all the athletes still alive will be specially recognized on the 28th of July, while there will be a posthumous honor for those of them that have died.
Bayern Munich have made an improved offer of £70 million plus add-ons for Hurricane and hope it will be prove enough to prize the striker away from Tottenham. Spurs rejected Bayern's opening offer of £60 million plus add-ons for Kane last month, the club deeming it too low for a player that they value at least £100 million, despite the fact that his contract expires next summer and he has shown little sign of wanting to sign an extension, leaving Spurs at the risk of losing their record goal scorer on a free transfer.
Well, in a related development from the transfer stories, well, this one comes from Manchester United, where captain Harry Maguire is set to officially lose the captain's armband at Manchester United this week, even if he stays put. Now, but with little chance of it changing, Erik ten Hag will speak to his squad in coming days for their view. Bruno Fernandes, team skipper in the second half of last season, looks likely to get the full-time role of captain at Manchester United. And that ends the news hour this morning on Sports Zone.
Thank you very much, Femi and Cowdy. Charles, what takes your fancy?
I don't know why, for some reason, Cowdy muted me. How am I supposed to comment on the news when you mute me?
To be honest, there's a bit of background noise where you were. Maybe so I don't know what you and Mariam were up to, but hey, we don't want to know.
Anyway, but I didn't hear the news round stories, but I can imagine that the story of Mbappe must have made the news.
No, unfortunately, it didn't.
But go ahead.
It did not.
I found it looking really shameful.
I'm even shocked. He didn't make it.
He didn't make it.
No African slander will be agreed.
But go ahead, please enlighten our listeners.
Anyway, but the Mbappe story is just utterly ridiculous. You know, the director of football at PSG has said that look, they can't take any more of this, and any club that comes calling for Mbappe, he's definitely going to go. He definitely has to go. He's causing bad blood within the club side, and I totally agree. You know, but you can fault them for making the mistake of practically handing the keys of a club side over to PSG, and the president of the country himself saying that, you know, we need him. He's part and parcel of French football and all the whatnots. It was a bit too much for a young boy like that.
They give him the power, so I don't know why.
They're going to have to deal with this matter decisively, and I think Mbappe should be leaving. If I were the manager at the club, I would keep Mbappe at the club and not put him on the bench. Put him on the bench, you know, and show the world that PSG is bigger than this individual, and let the other players prosecute the season. You know, whether they qualify for Champions League or not, or don't win anything at all, doesn't matter. Just put
Charles,
the man on the pitch and make him suffer. That's what I would do.
We cannot completely absolve PSG for the power that Mbappe is wielding at the moment, because they practically handed the power to him.
Yeah, they gave him a bit too much, you know, and when you look at it from the perspective of how much he brings to the club, you might say,
talent.
Okay, maybe just a little bit of indulging, but I think it was a bit too much. And then he went to Cameroon. That's another ridiculous story. He went to Cameroon, and the kind of security, you know, armored vehicles, you know, police officers running beside
a moving vehicle.
He's just a footballer. And some people on social media are making excuse of Cameroon is a volatile area. What if it's kidnapped? Excuse you.
I'm in support of those people. What if he's kidnapped?
It's an extremely talented footballer.
That's a valuable.
We're talking about armored vehicles.
That's a valuable asset.
Cameroon is not a war zone. It's not a war zone.
That asset is worth over.
But there are parts of Cameroon that they're disrupted. There's some disruption going on.
I know a few people mentioned Saka's situation.
Don't go to
Saka
those
was not
areas.
as bad.
Don't go to those areas.
Saka was not as bad.
Guy,
what did you
and
see,
you
Saka?
decide that you want to go to the northeast.
I only saw what Mbappe wanted me to see.
Why would you want to do that?
No, I just feel that he's going back to his.
I think it was a bit too much. I mean, only in Africa.
But Charles, let me correct you one thing. You said the director of football was angry about what Mbappe did. For as far as I know, Mbappe is the director of football anyway. So how can he be angry at himself? Did PSG not make him? Did not make him director of football?
I was going to ask your reaction about the De Gea story, but I think I got it when I saw your tweet about Chelsea signing him, Abi.
No, I think it's even Shegun agrees. It's disgraceful how they've treated
it was
David.
done, definitely.
I think he deserves better. And I'm hoping that Chelsea actually listen and sign the goalkeeper. For a goalkeeper who I think he was 3 times voted
four times
of the season.
4 times.
You know, and how do you forget in a hurry? You know what David did. Even if you want to sign a goalkeeper in Onana, you know, he's agreed to take a massive pay cut, which means, because he did put out a statement before that he wanted to retire at Manchester United. That's service, that's dedication, that's loyalty. And this is how you pay him back. I think it's very unfair. Very, very unfair. Make him a second choice goalkeeper, make him a third choice goalkeeper even, but at least keep him at the club. You know, he's shown a lot of love for the club side, and I think he deserves more than this.
No, I agree with Charles there, and I come on here and people argue me when I say the Glazers are the worst owners of any sporting club in world football. They are worse than the worst. Even North Korea doesn't have as bad as owners as the Glazers. But hey, you know, it is what it is. They've shown
in this situation, what kind of power does Ten Hag wield? I mean, why didn't he put his foot down and say, look, yeah, we're looking for another goalkeeper, but I want this individual to stay. After all, he made the same case for the young boy. What's that? He was accused of
Greenwood
assault. So he made the same argument for Greenwood, even though they're deciding to loan Greenwood out. But he decided that, look, I want this boy at Manchester United. Why couldn't he do the same for
maybe he didn't want him.
The truth of the matter is that De Gea, whether he stays or not, is not going to be. Whether
it's not part of the plan.
Is not. He can't play the way Ten Hag plays. Me, I'm not one of those United fans that forgets the services that De Gea rendered us over the years, especially, you know, in fact, under all managers. But unfortunately, football, you know, I asked you a question when you're talking about John Noble. There's a way the modern football plays, the modern goalkeeper plays. He plays with ball at feet. Remember when it came out that Ortega was going to play the FA Cup final, a lot of journalists were saying maybe it was mind games from Pep. That why would Ortega play such a seminal game, the game that could lead to their winning a treble, where you had Edison. But the truth of the matter is Ortega played, and there was barely any difference between the way Edison plays and the way Ortega plays. Ball at feet. Pep himself talks about how the goalkeeper is like is what they call a quarterback. You understand? You know, that is the way football. In order to progress the ball and not just hoof the ball forward, that comes right back to you. You have to build up progressively from the back, and that starts from your goalkeeper. Pep, I witnessed Bravo play once at Manchester United in Old Trafford. Bravo's starting possession was on the center line. But even then, Bravo made some defensive, but he didn't even give this guy a chance. Joe Hart never even allowed him to play one game for City, got rid of him, brought in Bravo. Bravo did not play up to expect. One season, got rid of him, brought in Edison. So the truth of the matter is, De Gea could have dispensed, Ten Hag could have dispensed with De Gea last season, kept him for a year, he didn't measure up, and he, maybe in fairness to Ten Hag, he didn't want to keep De Gea on the bench. And he's bringing Onana, who apparently plays very, very well with both feet.
For me, I don't see anything wrong in what he did in terms of letting De Gea go. What I think is the treatment, and I agree with you that the treatment for someone who's for 12 years. But the truth is, if you don't like the player, let him go. Because we made the same excuse for Ronaldo. Once you didn't like Ronaldo, let Ronaldo go. Once you cannot play into my style. So, other than the longevity he's given Man United, 12 years, he's the only active player who's played for United for 12 years. Because we can't count Phil Jones.
Jones has gone.
So just that's the only thing. I think give him a testimonial. And then what Bruno came out to say on social media, guy, give him a call. Don't do this. That's you're playing to the galley because they want to make you captain. And now doing all these things. But we need to go for a break. When we come back from the break,
we're still plenty more stories in the news sound.
Yeah, and we have a guest in the studio as well. Guests in the studio to go through also.